Interesting night, to say the least, I guess. Just we were not sharp again on the mound at the plate. Just didn't have our A game tonight. Obviously, some fireworks there in the fifth inning that we can discuss, obviously, if you guys wanted to. But bottom line is we're focused on playing a better brand of baseball right now. The last handful of games have just not been what I expect, and we address it, and things are at times better, but at times just the consistently level is just not where we need it to be. So the wins and losses will follow based upon how you perform and how you do attack the X's and O's of the game. Right now we can talk about wins and losses and whatnot. That doesn't really matter at the end of the day if you're not going to address the issues that we have through way too many pitches tonight, in my opinion. A lot of 0-2 hits, a lot of free bases. Offensively, our approach again came out decent in the first inning, and then we just went flat and stagnant until the fifth, and it just wasn't a very good approach. A lot of late on the fastball tonight, and from what I could tell, at least through the fourth inning, we were late on the fastball. Have to go rewatch the rest on video once it gets posted, but things we got to clean up and be better if we want to be the team we want to be.
Talk about those issues. Are you seeing consistent issues throughout, or is it a different one every game?
Well, I mean, the things that we talk about rear their heads at times, and it's those are things we've addressed, we've practiced, we feel good about it, and we execute it for a few days, and then they rear their heads again at some point in time. And so to me, it's just a consistency thing I don't know if it's a focus thing or just sometimes when you have success, you can kind of get complacent on things instead of continuing to grind and stay locked in on what you have to do to become better. And to me, that's my ultimate goal right now is to address our problems that we have and get better at them. And the wins and losses will take care of themselves if we address what we have to address.
Talking about the fifth, what was really said between Brody and that Utah pitcher that really ignited what happened? Have you heard it?
I didn't hear what was said. There was warnings issued after the home run hit by Clavino, because apparently there was some jawing going on as he was rounding the bases. There were warnings issued, and my understanding, if there's a warning issued, then the next instigator should be the one that gets ejected out of the game. Briggsy had it. We all know Briggsy. Briggsy has intense at bats and likes to pound his chest, and that's just how he competes. He popped the ball up, and I saw the pitcher going down the line, almost imitating or mimicking him and instigating. Again, am I frowning upon that? Am I saying that kid is wrong? No, I'm not. But if there are warnings in place, which there were, that kid should be tossed, right? Why are we having warnings if we're not going to enforce them? So instead, our guy, Briggsy's competitor, he's not going to back down to anybody, sees that, hears what he's saying, and says something, and Briggsy gets tossed. That's my issue with it. Again, do I have a problem with Coulter McAnally for what he did? No. He's competing too. But if there are warnings issued and you're going to go down the first baseline and imitate and mimic our guy for popping up or how he takes his at-bats, then why are we having a warning then? That guy should be gone. Instead, our guy gets tossed, and that's what I had a problem with. Now, again, apparently he got thrown out too. I was already in the tunnel and packing my toys and going home at that time, but he should have been. If they're, again, not from his actions, in my opinion, but if there are warnings in place, then yes. So I don't mind kids competing, and I don't mind kids, having a little trash talk here and there. That's today's world. Back in the day, we would have brawled over that stuff, but now we just like to chirp. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't have a problem with it, but if there are warnings in place, then absolutely it shouldn't have come to our guy getting tossed first.
Cole Carlone only threw 4 2/3 innings, had 7 runs. What wasn't working?
Falling behind a lot of hitters, not executing 0-2, you're leaving pitches up in the middle of the zone 0-2, and falling behind a lot of hitters and a lot of free bases uncharacteristically for him. Had three base on balls, a couple of hit batters. Seemed like he was pitching in high leverage situations the whole time. Guys on base, traffic on the bases, and those are through 105 pitches. I mean, there weren't very many of them that were not high leverage pitches. So, if you want to get length and be a starter and have longevity throughout the year, we have to be more efficient.
In comparison to half of your guys' hits tonight, what went wrong for the other other 8 batters behind from what you saw?
Just, in my opinion, not ready to hit the fastball, not on time for the fastball. We keep fouling heaters over the opposing dugout, and that's just not what we're designed about, and it's not what we teach here. It's not when we're good. We are on the fastball timing and adjust to breaking balls, and right now we've preached it and talked about it, and I think a lot of guys are caught in between, and if you're caught in between, you ain't gonna hit. So it's got to be one or the other, and we like to err on the side of being aggressive and ready.
You had PJ slide down to the 9 hole today. Was there a reason behind that, or did you just want to see something different from him?
No, I felt like we finally had the guys back in the lineup that we wanted to. Roley was back today. Contradas was back today. I'm honestly, again, we've talked about it before, with Landon being our hottest hitter right now, it's trying to get some traffic on from the bottom of the lineup, so when he comes up, there's guys on base. And it has nothing, that was not a slap in PJ's face to put him down the 9 hole. That was, hey, we need guys on base down at that bottom of the lineup for when we flip it over. We got some guys on base for Harry, and it worked, the 1 inning, but and he had another nice at bat and lined into, I think, a double play, or at least that's what I heard. So, it is what it is. That's had nothing to do with his performance. He's been swinging the bat great. I'm just trying to get some more guys on base down at that bottom for him at the top.
Obviously, the coach wants to get tossed, but down 6 runs, you guys were in the 5th. Did you feel like the moment that you had there, where you kind of wanted to ignite the situation for your team or anything like that played a part in why you were so maybe aggressive in that or upset in that moment?
No, I'm going to protect my players. That's to me is whether that results in me being ejected or not, fine. Have no problem, but when one of my players gets tossed for, again, in my opinion, at that point in time, for something that was instigated by a different player, then I got a problem with it, and I'm going to defend my players. So whether that ignites something or not, you'd have to ask our players that. I don't know. My intention was not to go out and put on a show and try to ignite our players that way. My intention was to protect my own guy that I thought was, took the bait of being instigated. And that, again, that position of already having a warning, there should not have been even a question of someone instigating or not. It's a no-brainer. So anyhow, that's just protecting my players.
Is there a message that you deliver to the team after something like this, when the tensions rise, especially with 2 more games left in the series, to make sure things don't boil over in these next couple of games?
I'd kind of like to see it boil over, personally. So if we want to go that route, let's go. I have no problem with it. So I'd like to see that intensity.
You mentioned Cole. He threw 103 last week, threw 105 today. He was in the bullpen last year, and you talked a lot about early in the season how much you wanted to see that longevity increase for you to really trust him in this moment. Do you have any concern moving forward about his durability?
No, I don't. He wasn't as sharp today as he normally is, and then we'll see how that translates next week. But I don't. I think this has been a goal of his to be a weekend starter, and he's prepared for it physically. We have a phenomenal strength coach that has prepared him physically for this. What I would like to see is not so many pitches in 4 innings or 5 innings. I would like to see him, have 105 pitches through 7, not 4 2/3. But we got to be more efficient on that part of it. So that part of it is a little concerning. And again, the high leverage, high intensity pitches with guys on the bases, that's concerning. You have to be careful. I'm not so much worried about the 105 pitches this late, as we're final third of the season. These guys are built up. We've done a very good job of building them up slowly, in my opinion. We do, historically, we've done a really good job of that, and we continue. But the high intensity pitches in that short of amount of innings is a little bit concerning and alarming that we have to get better. We have to get better at that.
Carlone had over 100 pitches in that fifth inning and allowed the 3-run home run before he was pulled. Was there like a mindset like you were confident that he could get out of the fifth inning before the home run?
I wanted to. We had the nine hitter up there, Clavino, who's scrappy, good little player. I'm like, if you're a Friday night guy, you got to get that guy out. You go get him out, and we'll have Linder start fresh with the next inning. I was confident that he could, and kid burned us. So hats off to him.
When you talked about wanting to see this boil over into tomorrow, wanting to see more intensity, is that because of the lack of intensity as of late, and you're hoping that creates it, or just this is a one-off and you just want to see it build?
I'm not suggesting we need to go have bench clears, but I do want to see more intensity out of our guys. And for me, having a little bit of an edge at times is warranted and needed. And I think now is one of those times when it's needed.
Are you expecting to learn anything about your team this weekend? And are you hoping to learn anything about your team this weekend?
I think we're facing our first real test of adversity right now. We had, call it adversity early on in the year with a few losses, but right now I think we're being tested a little bit with the amount of games we played in this period, this window. I think what the expectations are. I think our guys are, again, getting caught up in winning. Like, we should be winning these games. But as I said at the beginning, I'm more interested in the X's and O's of it. Like, what's the process? We can't just say, we should win this game and go out and win. It doesn't work that way. You have to focus on the process of what gets you there. And right now, that's where guys need to refocus that intensity and discipline toward the process of what they're doing. The results will then take care of themselves.
This was around the same time last year where you guys were rolling, and then you have the end of the season that you did, and you are on the bubble and earned a bid into the NCAA tournament. What did you learn from last year and that last month or two that you can use this year to ensure that doesn't happen again?
You stay with us, block out the external noise that I'm sure is going to start creeping in out there, and just stick with us. Believe in ourselves with what we're doing, but understanding that we can't get complacent, and we can't go about our business the way of just expecting to roll out there with an AS on our uniform and win. You have to go out and prove it. You have to go out there with intensity and in a mindset that you're not going to be denied. And right now we got a little bit of a gut check right now to see if we're made of that.
What gives you the confidence for what you've seen this year that you guys are able to achieve that?
Well, we're a different team than we were last year. There's different personnel. There's different guys. There's different leadership in there, and I'm confident in our core group that they'll get it right. And at the end of the day, we're going to keep grinding and keep going. And again, just confident in the guys in the clubhouse that they'll turn this thing around.